to Accelerated Mixed Martial Arts Training, Striking Master Move Series. So if you just walk through the rear jab, just do this. When you step, your weight shifts onto that front leg about a third. So go ahead and do that and kind of freeze it. Okay, well the same footwork is going to happen with the rear cross, except for now that the punch is going to be turned horizontal. And if you stay there, let's say you throw a punch, the terminology is to slip this hand and then come over the top and here with that shot. So you see why it's cross, it's Xing like this. So the reason why I bring my foot over like this, as I bring my foot over it, watch my head. My hands, you throw the punch, I actually slip this punch, and I come basically right to your shoulder line in here, your perimeter here, your center line. They are learning how to do an outside slip without saying, hey, you're learning body evasion, right? Now if you stand directly on center line and throw the punch like this still works to some degree, but the problem with doing this is that most people over twist if they miss in here. See how my hips are totally turned like this? So I'm not in a position to continue. So wherever my jab would hit, whop, pull it back, step off line, bang, chin down, the elbows up in here to protect the high outside line, the off line. Right? So as I step off line, boom, and here I have to step here like this so I can bring this around in here like that. If I'm not, then I'm basically going to be on a tightrope. Right? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so in nature, the rear cross is going to have more power. Shift the same, but you're going to step out slightly further, like at a 40-45 degrees line on center line. All right, so you actually want to kind of put your lead on that leg and boom, like that. All right, now most people get this punch wrong. What they'll usually do, you'll see a lot, is they'll hear their elbows are too, actually this is actually learned how, I taught myself how to do it by doing it wrong, I taught me how to do it right. Most people, when they got their arms in like this, what they do is you'll see things like this. They'll bring the elbow out, and what is this doing? Not following that line of force. See how the elbow comes out? Look at my fist is pointed that way, so technically for force to be correct, that's where the technique should be going, right? But you want it to go straight, so most people snap this elbow out in here and try to hit that perfect lock. They try to keep the elbow down in here like this, and to have this, they have this idea about trying to protect their body in here. But well, the nature of the cross, as the elbow comes out, you are going to lose some body protection. In the shoulders, the rotator cuff doesn't work like that with the elbow. If you try to keep your elbow down and turn your fist over like this is very unnatural. Okay. So whether you're right-handed or left-handed, it doesn't change the outcome in here. All right, but I'm gonna deliver this punch right at the end of the kill zone. This is gonna take 2 steps of action, so don't try to cover all this distance. These guys are turning these things into haymakers like this. Bait this punch. You see this silly thing here? Doing this in here. We call this a corkscrew cross in here. But rotating your punch out like this, you're just exposing the body, for one. And 2, you can't throw any combinations out. If I go like this, I'm all about this punch. So if I want to deliver a cross and a hook, immediately I could not do that. Sure that this elbow does not drop. Right? Like this. You're actually losing force with your elbow dropping. Once again, it's okay to do with gloves on. Wonder why fighters break their hands. But wonder why a lot of guys are not effective with striking skill sets in grappling situations, because they don't perfect hitting well enough from other ranges. Where they don't really get into the exact mechanics what actually has to happen. Okay, so focus the force. Concentrate on hitting flat and hitting so that force on that jab is right dead center where it needs to go, and that cross is coming right behind it. More important to and then recover, and it's over. They're not concerned about recovering and getting away. We're concerned this is about force delivery, so we're concerned about delivering, initiating, transitioning, and somewhat of recovery. I see more fighters break their hands, or I read about this stuff, and I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, how do you break your hands with all that gauze and tape on and that glove on? Because they're not following a very good line of force.
Yeah.
When they throw these horizontal punches, a lot of times they're throwing them more downward like this, and they're hitting crooked like this. Or they throw a hook, and I'm seeing this stuff like this, right? Totally improper body mechanics. Plus, when you hit with those boxing gloves on and all that padding on your hand, and then every so often you train with this on and fight with that. Change, you need to fight with what you're gonna, you need to train with what you're gonna fight on. That's why hitting bare-fisted or close to a bare-fisted or what you can get away with, depending on the student's level, will make you a better striker to hit with gloves on. Hitting with gloves on is not gonna make you a better striker. The other way around, right? Because even if with an MMA glove, even there's only a little bit of padding there, right? You can hit a bag or a focus pad in here, and you can hit it relatively crooked in here and you won't feel it.